This is your Neepawa Town Council Debrief for the January the 16th, 2024 meeting. This week's program is divided into two parts due to the length of the meeting. As Councillor Gerard mentions right at the top of the meeting, the Finance Committee has started their preliminary conversations about the budget, which includes looking at the grant applications they received. Grants are due on December 31st of each year and are awarded around budget time in April or May. It's due to this granting schedule that we see two delegations from local nonprofits to talk about their respective projects. Anyone can request to be put on the agenda for an upcoming meeting by contacting the town office in advance. Touchwood Park, the local association supporting individuals with developmental disabilities, is preparing to build a fully accessible playground near its day program building next summer. The playground will feature several pieces of equipment designed for wheelchair users and for individuals who need assisted play, including things such as a double slide and a wheelchair bouncer and swing. Renderings of the site design were presented to Council to show the various recreational and safety features of the project. While located on Touchwood property, the playground is intended for use by the entire community, including the life skills classes at the local schools. Touchwood Park has so far raised about $103,000 of the total $325,000 price tag for the project and is asking for $25,000 from the town.
Okay, we have a couple of delegations tonight, so I guess the first one I'll call on is Touchwood Park. Holly and Arlie, if you would like to come up forward.
And I just want to confirm it's not a conflict for me to be at the table for the presentation.
Not for the presentation.
There'll be no decisions made.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Well, welcome.
Okay. Good evening. For those that don't know, my name is Holly Handcrafts. I am the Director of Services with Touchwood Park. I'd like to thank Mayor Headley and the Council for inviting us here tonight to present our wheelchair accessible playground project that will provide inclusive space for the whole community to enjoy. Touchwood Park has partnered with Parkworks, a Canadian park equipment company, working with the regional sales manager of Winnipeg to come up with this design. This location it'll be next to our day program building at 445 Commerce, utilizing the existing playground space already owned by Touchwood. Touchwood Park has requested a consideration for $25,000 through the community grant program to be allocated to this project. I'd like to take some time to just go through a few points of play features for this project. So first off, we have the large inclusive play structure. This structure is a 3 foot from ground to top level, is a 3 foot height. The entire area is wheelchair accessible. Every platform has several points of game boards and with mazes and match games, steering wheels, gears, providing a point of parallel play and interactive gameplay. And there's also a wheelchair bouncer. A couple things to note. Typically someone in a wheelchair is always looking up at their loved ones, their family, their friends, services. This provides an opportunity that they're not looking up. They're up with everyone. They're up high with their friends, enjoying the game just like everyone else. This slide is a double slide, so providing again a parallel play with a friend or support worker could slide at the same time. This picture gives a better show of the wheelchair bouncer on the right hand side. The entire wheelchair goes into that frame and other children can be on there as well, and then it provides the up and down motion. In the bottom left corner, you'll see the leaf hideaway structure. The green leaf is slightly raised, so there is room for someone in a wheelchair to roll right underneath. That does provide a sensory space, provides space of calmness, but again also is a hiding factor in hide and seek and such like that with your peers. There is also the climbing and sitting element of the structure as well. Then we have a swing set and a wheelchair swing. So the top right of the screen, there is the infant swing. There's 2 belt swings. There's an inclusive swing seat. If that's the large gray one you see there, it does have a weight capacity of 550 pounds. So an adult can easily fit in there. Then next to that structure, there is the independent wheelchair swing, which has the person stays in the wheelchair to use it. So there's a ramp that gets them onto the platform, and then there are stops that come up in front of the chair and behind, securing the chair and the person. Again, an element of parallel play with their peers and providing the back and forth movement. Then we have the Scylla teeter-totters. They're the 2 yellow structures at the bottom of the screen. They are secured on large springs. They're not a traditional teeter-totter. They have a bucket seat design, which is created deep enough that it is secure when you're moving and you won't fall out. The middle, in amongst those bars structure, has room for people or other children to stand and be part of that or sit in there. And again, it encourages parallel play. We will have a visual communication board with visual cues and text below. One side will be English and one side will be Tagalog. And this is something that can be used for everyone to communicate needs and wants. Then the surface features. So this is an overview of the design. The entire place is pour-in-place rubber. So it does have, we're able to do a racetrack design around the outside, so that is your game of play, racing around. It's just attractive to children. There is a roll down edge on all sides promoting to the grass, so promoting a safe exit or entry. It's not a harsh edge that will cause obstructions. And the pour-in-place rubber makes it very easy to maneuver the space. Wheelchairs, strollers, wagons, not having to deal with sand or gravel. There are also colored circles. You'll notice the green and the beige. So those ones are there purposely for a couple of reasons. So a couple of things is, one reason is that it draws someone's attention to that space. It tells them that something is happening there and that they might want to go check it out. The other side of that is it's also a safety feature, because it also signals to somebody that there's something going on there, so be careful. The circles are big enough to encompass the swing in terms of space of how much it takes, so they are big enough for that as well. So it just is a signal on a dual purpose of come join us, but also be careful. The lifespan of the pour-and-play under high use, such as the circles, is about 10 to 15 years. So the circle part of it is having a color is easier to replace, as it's just a shape to replace, and you can choose whatever color you want. You're not having to match a faded black and noticing that it's been maintained or upgraded. The total cost for this project is estimated at $325,000, with an anticipated installation date of summer of 2024. The project will need volunteers to succeed: excavation, base prep, equipment installation, donation of sub-base gravel, and as well as we're going to need a sidewalk installed from the street to provide multiple access points. It is accessible off the grass, but again, using a sidewalk with a stroller or a wheelchair is much easier than the grass. To date, Touchwood Park has raised $103,000 towards this project through successful grants, annual golf tournament, community walk challenge, smile cookie campaign, as well as had several donations from community members. We plan to continue to apply for grants to assist with this project, along with other fundraising efforts such as a 50-50 draw, walk challenge, and the annual golf tournament. Touchwood Park Accessible Playground will provide an inclusive space for all to enjoy regardless of ability. People from every walk of life can utilize this space. Maybe it's a grandchild and a grandparent with a wagon, a young family with a child in a stroller, or individuals with disabilities using mobility aids. There is something for everyone in this space to join in on, to be accepted as everyone else at the playground and not feel limited by the environment around them. Touchwood Park is very thankful for the community's support towards the agency over the last 60 years of operation and is very excited to have this opportunity to give back to the community. Does anyone have any questions?
How does it work in winter?
It just needs to be, you have to shovel it off. You can't use any machinery to for snow removal. The wheelchair swing will have to be locked in terms of the ramp and snow accumulation, but everything else would be accessible.
It's very exciting to see. Is it still time to move it further back off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this design is off the building, the current building, but we are planning to pull it off the building and such, again, kind of more centered towards the street so that it's inviting for all, and then it can be used during the day when we're operating the day program and our parking lot is busy. People can access it from the street.
And the main entrance will be off the
Tupper. Yeah.
And there'll be parking there.
Yeah.
Off the Tupper Street. So there'll be sidewalk from there.
And what did you call it? Pour?
It's pour in place rubber.
I've never heard of that.
That'd be good. Well, they do high school tracks with it.
Oh, okay.
It's recycled rubber. So it'd be kind of good for all our trails.
You weren't at the budget meeting.
I guess not.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah. And that is something too, we've had feedback from the school, is they're looking for a space like this, like the life skills class, to use like this too. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming up.
Thank you.
Good presentation.
Thank you for the time.
ArtsForward, Neepawa's central hub for arts and cultural programming, presented to Council looking for funding for regular operations and their annual Indigenous Culture Day. This year's presentation highlighted their 6 areas of focus, including affordability, mental and wellness, youth, community, efficiency, and fiscal responsibility. This past year, the facility underwent several renovations, including a new kitchen and new roof, and are looking to continue with the physical upgrades and repairs in the new year, including flooring and potentially a new furnace. They also wanted to make sure everyone knows that if there is a skill they are interested in learning or teaching, ArtsForward will work with them to try to make that happen. This year, they are requesting $20,000 in grant funding from the town.
All right. Well, thank you again for letting ArtsForward come out again this year to make a presentation to you. This first slide. This is some of our artists in our community. I think our community is becoming known as becoming known for the arts. Take a look around, and it's not all because of ArtsForward. Take a look at the benches that are painted around town, and a lot more businesses want more benches painted. Take a look at the toy store, Hidden Hollow, just how it's painted. I mean, not that ArtsForward did that, but artists in that picture did that. So we have some very good artists in our communities, and I think our community is becoming more of an arts community. So, have you seen us lately? New staff. We have Heidi Nugent is now on our staff, and of course, I think you're all familiar with her. She worked at the office here for a while. New board members, some younger, more vibrant outlook there, some younger board members. We have a growth in membership and a growth in programming. Our programming is constantly increasing, and it's become the place to be in Neepawa for activities. So we've got lots of things going on. Here's some of the things that we think it is. It's a community hub. It's a community and regional hub for art and culture. And it's important, like all ages, all abilities, all financial backgrounds. And that part for us is really important. It's important that you can still take place even if you don't have the dollars to. So we look for dollars for programming so that people can take advantage of some of the programming that we offer. And of course, it's a great venue for events, social gatherings, recreational activities, and et cetera there. So And one of our important things is building partnerships between businesses in the community, nonprofit organizations, and the surrounding RMs and regions. So what's happening in ArtsForward? There is so much happening. Just check out our Facebook page, check out our website, and you'll see stuff like this constantly. There's so many things going on in ArtsForward. We couldn't possibly describe it. Our Facebook page is probably the best place to check out to see what goes on in ArtsForward. We have programming for all ages. We've got from toddlers to seniors. We've got Mom's Morning Out. In case you don't know what that program is, it's an opportunity for moms to bring their toddler, drop them off with some caregivers in one room, and while they're doing some sort of activity in another room, it could be an arts and craft activity, it could be a physical activity, they're doing something. Seniors Morning Out is a similar thing, only you're not dropping off toddlers. Seniors come out and they're doing something. And it could be, again, a physical activity, it could be a craft, it could be a seminar on, fraud, internet fraud or something like that. There's just different activities. Things for seniors like chair Pilates, like that's what you're seeing in the picture there, although those are not Neepawa residents. Art classes for seniors, yoga, Zumba, martial arts, all of those kinds of things. We have programming for all ages. We have 6 areas of focus. One of them is affordability. I've sort of touched on that already. The way we make it affordable for people is partnerships. That's one of the ways. Take a look at the partnerships in this picture right here. If you recognize that front end loader, that's the town's front end loader. Partnering with the town there. The men's shed has created those planters for us, and that's where we have our field to table club. That's where they grow produce out there. So partnerships is one of the ways we make it affordable. Sponsors, we get businesses around the community to help cover some of the costs. Certainly grants are huge. Grants are the main way that we make our programs affordable. And of course, we also have personal donations. What kind of partnerships do we have? Well, these kind of partnerships. We have tons of partnerships. Our second focus is on mental health and wellness. And some of the programs that we offer so that people can go out and socialize in a fun atmosphere. Again, Mom's Morning Out, Seniors Morning Out, but any one of these activities, we've got lots of workout programs like Zumba, step, circuitry, fun fitness, martial arts for adults and for kids. So that whole idea of mental health as well as physical health. Art in a social setting. You can sit alone in your room and do art. That's probably not that great for you mentally after we come through COVID here. Certainly getting together in a social setting is one of the things that we try and do at ArtsForward. Third focus is on youth. We've got so many different youth programs, and again, it's different partnerships. There's just a list of a few things that we have, but tons of different things. Kids in the Kitchen is a very popular program. At Field to Table Club, we've got Glenn McPhee coming out teaching the kids how to grow food, and then of course the kids in the kitchen how to harvest that food and make it into something delicious and nutritious. Now, I believe part of it this year was also traveling out to farmers. Some of the farmers that partnered with us, the kids had a chance to go out there and see how crops are grown. And so we did have a little bit of that. So not just on site with the Field to Table Club, but get out, take a look at a farm or a field and learn how the whole process, that field to table kind of thing. Some of the kids doing some of their activities. The next focus is on community. Things like Farmers Market, Indigenous Culture Day we have, Raft, which that's a live art experience. And I think that we've had it now for 2 years. You probably know a little bit about what Raft is. We've had Indigenous Culture Day. I think it's the 3rd year, I believe, that we've had it. Is that correct? Yeah. And of course, we're inclusive. We have art classes for Touchwood there. We have the American Sign Language translator, special needs assistant available when required. Just so you know, in case you've forgotten, that Raft is Riverbend Market, ArtsForward, with which we have a farmer's market and live art experience on that particular day. Of course, Farmery is the F and Raft, and Tourism Neepawa. Indigenous Culture Day. We were the only rural community to hold a National Day for Truth and Reconciliation event this year. And we had the Premier come down and check that out. So the Premier's in attendance this year. And we had, I don't know, like 1,200, 1,400 students or people, possibly more. There's a huge, like kids came and went all day. So pretty good experience. And again, we didn't get rained out, so pretty lucky, 3rd year in a row. Fifth focus on efficiency, and we've done, this is a couple of years now that this has been running, that community events calendar, and originally partnered with Neepawa Tourism to bring it to fruition. And is it being used? Well, this is January that I took a couple of days ago, and I know that there's more events in there now. So yeah, it is being used. Is it being used as much as we hoped it would be? No, but it is being used, and hopefully more and more groups take advantage of that and put their events in here. Our sixth focus is a focus on fiscal responsibility. Just take a look at the last couple of years. 2002, our income was huge. Why? COVID. We got lots of COVID grants, and so we actually had a profit that year of almost $9,000. This year, take a look at our income. Our income was huge. Why? Because grants. We had $102,000 worth of grants this year that we applied for and got. And we spent $209,000, so we're in the hole $10,000. But you know what? We're really happy about that. And the next slide will explain why we're so happy. But before I get there, take a look at 2024. So you can see that our anticipated income and expenses are quite a bit lower than 2023. And again, I think the next slide will probably explain that. But we're looking at somewhere around a balanced budget for this year. So why did we spend so much money last year? We had $102,000 worth of grants, but when you apply for a grant, it does not cover 100% of your costs. And so we had to, of course, dig into our own savings to cover some of the things that we've done. But look at what we've done. Kitchen renovation. If you've renovated your kitchen at home, you know how expensive those are. So we renovated the kitchen. We've got complete new, well, it's painted, new flooring, new cabinets. Yeah, it's, what's that? New appliances, yeah, that's right. And we've added, like we had one stove before, we've added another stove in there. We have
Wheelchair accessible.
a wheelchair accessible counter, that's right. And of course, Yvonne was all about this. The other things that we've done is, the huge things is roof repair and replacement. There's part of the roof is shingle. That was done this summer. It was the shingled part was completely reshingled. The metal part, many of the bolts were starting to come out, and the washers were suspect. And so we had every one of the washers removed and replaced with bolts. All the bolts removed and replaced this summer as well. So again, that was a huge cost. We thought we'd have to get a new furnace, but we just repaired it this year. We didn't have the money to replace it. Some of the other things we've done is flood damage renovation from the flooding that happened a while back now. We've had a lot of renovations to do. We've got new flooring in the back stairs, basement hallway, the basement washroom flooring is new, the basement toilet has been replaced, storage rooms downstairs have been painted, a sump pit and pump were installed, so hopefully we never have that flooding again. We've increased our gallery lighting and we've replaced our computers. So when you take a look at what we've done and only dug into our pockets $10,000, we're pretty happy about that. So we've done a lot. Our biggest challenge: continue to find grants, secure on existing programs, and expand programming. Because again, we're trying to make this and keep this affordable. We're trying to keep our rent affordable. We're trying to keep our programming affordable. And so we can't do that by charging what we would need to charge in order to break even. So we need grants, and grants are our largest source of income. The arts does rely on grants, $102,000 approximately last year. This year, we're looking at grants. We're hoping, this is our plan, right? We're hoping for about $62,000 worth of grants. And why less? Well, some of the grants that we previously applied for are no longer available. So We're always looking for new grant avenues, but this is what we found so far. Some of our capital projects for this year, and you can see that the list is shorter than last year's capital projects, but certainly replace the flooring in the front entrance, boutique, the office, that whole area there. Flooring in the upstairs hallway right now is kind of dangerous. It shifts on you. It's we call this a vinyl plank, and it shifts when you step on it. So that we need to replace that. And I've got furnace replacement as a question mark because it was recommended last year that we would replace the furnace. We couldn't afford it, so yeah. Someday when we can afford it, we have to replace that furnace, but probably repairs will be needed anyways. Also, we're planning an Indigenous Culture Day again as a special event. So those are some of our big things. And of course, programming is always one of our big costs. So our big ask this year is $20,000 to assist with programming, capital projects, and our special event, Indigenous Culture Day. That's it. Any questions?
Yeah. Men's night. I didn't see it.
I know. I think there needs to be a demand. So I mean, there has to be a request. Like, what's going on? There's no ladies' night.
And,
Men have to say,
open
this is what
mic,
we want.
Learning how to write songs by Murray. You know,
By Murray. Actually, if just so that everybody knows, if there's a particular class or a workshop that you'd like to see at ArtsForward, basically you contact our administrator, and what they do is they take the ideas and they put feelers out. You know, hey, there's a course we can offer. We have Murray Parrott as an instructor who would like to take this course, and if we get people to sign up, that's it. The course is offered. I mean, it's that simple. If people are looking for anything particular, ask the administrator. We'll put some feelers out. And we'll get a course.
A good chunk of those programs, that's how they all started.
Yeah.
Somebody came forward with an idea.
I think it runs really well.
We miss Yvonne.
What about the big screen that's supposed to be hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah, we need a carpenter, contractor with some muscle and good back to put that up. We've been waiting there for quite a while. Pardon me?
1 out of 3.
Yeah, and you know, that's been sitting there for a while. And it's interesting that we've been contacting so many different local contractors and asking them to, you know, can you come in, give us a quote, and get this thing put up? It's a small job, and it seems like nobody wants to do it. It's very frustrating.
2 ladders, 4 guys.
It's the same as this, what you're saying.
It's different from that. It's bigger. Yeah.
But the screen's been there. It was purchased on a grant,
Yeah.
and it has been there since August. And they have been trying to find somebody who will install it.
We finally had somebody agree to do it as soon as the weather got cold, and the weather's been cold for a while, and they still haven't come. So, yeah, that has been a little bit of a frustration for us. Yeah. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks a lot, Ron. Very good presentation.
Also covered in the first half of this week's meeting were updates from the local library board. You can view end-to-end coverage of the town council meeting elsewhere in the NACTV schedule, as well as on our YouTube channel. If you have comments, questions, or topics we might be able to shine some light on for you, please reach out at 204-476-2639 or by email at nactvnews@gmail.com. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.